Assalamu alaikum, dear students. It is the 9th lecture of report writing skills, and dear students, in the last lecture, rather in the last two lectures, we were discussing 3 styles of labeling the headings used in the reports. The 3 styles were numeral letter combination style, decimal system, and the third style is letter numeral combination style. We have already discussed numeral letter combination style. After discussing it, we have implemented it practically on one sample report. Then we moved on to the decimal system. After understanding it, we did implement it one of the sample reports, and today first we are going to understand what is the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings in the report, and then we will be practically implementing it on one of the sample reports. Dear students, have a look on the table that is shown in front of you on the screen. The cursor is blinking here on the words letter numeral combination. We are trying to learn, I repeat again, the different styles of labeling the headings in the reports. And today we are going to learn the letter numeral combination style of labeling the different headings that are used, that you will be using, that you might use, that you can use in the reports. So, letter numeral combination. In a letter numeral combination, dear students, whenever you label the first degree of heading, you are supposed to label it with capital letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H till Z with a dot after them. For example, in front of you, there is a first degree being displayed on the, I think it might be appearing on the left side of yours where the cursor is blinking, first degree, and it will be labeled through letter numeral combination style by capital A and a dot in front of it. Capital A and a dot in front of it. After that, dear students, we are having the second degree of heading, and the second degree of heading through letter numeral combination style should be labeled by round numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to any number with a dot in front of it. So here, dear students, we are having second degree after this first degree, and second degree, as you know, is the lower degree of heading as compared to the first degree. So this second degree heading is making the subheading of this first degree, and by the style of letter numeral combination of labeling the headings, this will be labeled as round number 1 with a dot in front of it. Dear students, after that we are having another second degree. As you can see on the table, the sample table, second degree heading. And as I told you that whenever you are supposed to label the second degree headings through letter numeral combination style, you will be labeling them by round numbers with a dot in front of them. So here is the second degree coming for the second time. It will be labeled as round number 2 with a dot in front of it. Why are we labeling it with round number 2 with a dot in front of it? Because, dear students, this second degree coming over here for the second time is also the subheading of this first degree. Both these second degrees after this first degree heading are the subheadings of this first degree. So this second degree, the cursor in front of you is blinking on the table. This second degree coming up for the second time will be labeled in sequence with any other second degrees that are coming before it under this first degree. The second degree that is coming for the second time will be labeled, will be numbered in sequence with any other second degrees that are coming after the same first degree, because both of them, or if they were three, if these were three, then three of them, if four, then four of them were the subheadings of the same first degree. So it will be labeled as round number 2 with the dot in front of it. Okay, dear students, what next are we having on this side? This is the first degree of heading coming again. As you can see on the table being displayed on the screen, first degree coming again. Now, as I told you in the beginning, that through the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, first degrees are labeled by capital letters A, B, C, D, and etc. So we already had the first degree in the beginning of the report, say, and we labeled it with the capital letter A, and over here we are having the first degree for the second time, so we will be labeling it as capital letter B with a dot in front of it. Now after this first degree, this is the first degree, dear students, as you can see on the screen, and parallel to it through the letter numeral combination style we are labeling it. The cursor is blinking on the screen, capital B dot in front of it. First degree coming for the second time is being labeled as the cursor is blinking on the screen, capital B with a dot in front of it. After the first degree, dear students, we are having the second degree coming up again. Now this second degree, as I told you, the second degrees appearing in the report when will be labeled through the letter numeral combination styles will be labeled by round numbers. So this is the second degree. Be cautious, dear students. This second degree is forming the subheading of this first degree coming for the second time. This second degree is not forming the subheading of the first degree that appeared in the upper portion of the report. So this second degree will be labeled independently from the sequence of the second degree headings that we numbered in the upper portion of the report. So second degree over here, which is forming the subheading of this first degree, second degree, as you can see on the screen, second degree, which is forming the subheading of this first degree, will be labeled as round number 1 with a dot in front of it. I am not labeling it as round number 3 with a dot in front of it, because it is not being labeled in sequence to the second degrees which formed the subheadings of the first degree that appeared for the first time on the table. As you can see over here, this was the first degree, the cursor is blinking, labeled as capital A dot in front of it. After it is a second degree labeled as round number 1 with a dot in front of it. After it, second degree again labeled as round number 2 with a dot in front of it. Then again we are having the first degree. Now this first degree is independent of this first degree. Any other lower degree of heading coming after this first degree will form the subheading of only this first degree, and any subheading coming after this first degree coming for the second time will not be making the subheading of the first degree that appeared for the first time in the upper portion of the report. So this second degree coming after this first degree is only the subheading of this very first degree, so will be labeled as round number 1 dot in front of it. Then, dear students, after the second degree we are having the third degree of heading. Now this third degree is a lower degree of heading as compared to the second degree. So this third degree is making the subheading, this third degree, as you can see on the table, this third degree is making the subheading of this second degree. As per the rules of letter numeral combination style, whenever you label the third degrees, whenever you are having third degrees in your report, third degree headings in your report, you label them with small letters A, B, C, D and a dot in front of them. Now this third degree, as you can see on the table, the cursor is blinking on this third degree, is making the subheading of this second degree. Will be labeled as small letter A with a dot in front of it. Next, dear students, after this third degree, we are having another third degree heading. Now this third degree heading is also, as you can see on the table, is also making the subheading of this second degree. So this third degree heading will be labeled in sequence with any other third degree that appeared before it under this second degree heading. So we already had a third degree that appeared under this second degree heading, this one, and we labeled it as small letter A with a dot in front of it. So when the third degree is appearing for the second time under this second degree, it will be labeled as small letter B with a dot in front of it. If we had another third degree over here, then we would have labeled it as small letter C with a dot in front of it. If we had yet another third degree over here, we would have, for the fourth time, we would have labeled it as A, B, C, D. D, small letter D and a dot in front of it. And if we had it for the fifth time, we would have labeled it as small letter E with a dot in front of it, showing that all these third degrees are forming the subheading of this very second degree that is appearing in front of you on the table. Okay, dear students, after this third degree, we are having another second degree heading appearing. Now, dear students, this second degree which is appearing over here, as I told you, as per the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, whenever you label the second degrees, they are labeled by round numbers. So round number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So dear students, over here we are having the second degree heading appearing for the second time, where, this is very important, have a look on the table kindly, this is the second degree appearing for the second time under this first degree heading. So that means this second degree over here appearing for the first time under this first degree is the subheading of this first degree, and similarly this second degree heading which is appearing for the second time under this first degree is also the subheading of this first degree. So this second degree heading will be labeled in sequence with any other second degree that is coming in the upper portion of this report under the first degree. Which first degree? This first degree heading. So the second degree heading over here is being labeled as round number 2 with a dot in front of it. As you can see on the table appearing in front of you on the screen, second degree heading, this is the second degree heading appearing for the second time under this first degree, being labeled in sequence with this second degree, and this second degree when it appeared for the first time was labeled as round number 1 with a dot in front of it. When the second degree is coming for the second time under the same first degree heading, it will be labeled as round number 2 with a dot in front of it. Now if I move back, dear students, to the first degree heading again that appeared for the first time in this report, have a look here on the table. First degree heading labeled as capital letter A dot, then second degree under this first degree round number 1 dot, second degree again under the same first degree round number 2. Over here you can see I moved down. When the first degree appeared for the second time in the same report, it was labeled as capital letter B with a dot in front of it, and there was a second degree that appeared, and that second degree is making the subheading of only this first degree. So it is not being labeled as round number 3. Look here, 1 dot, 2 dot, it should not be 3 dot over here because it is independent subheading of only this first degree. So we labeled it as round number 1 dot in front of it. But this second degree, as you can see on the table, is appearing again under the same first degree heading, so is the subheading of the same first degree, so is not independent of this first degree, will be labeled in sequence with any other second degrees coming above it. So will be labeled as round number 2 dot in front of it. Then dear students, after the second degree we are having a third degree heading. Now this third degree heading is a lower degree of heading than the second degree. That means this third degree is making the subheading of this second degree heading. And as I told you that whenever you label the third degree headings through letter numeral combination style, you label them with small letters A, B, C, D, E with a dot in front of them. Now remember one thing dear students, this third degree is coming after the second degree, is the subheading of this second degree only. So it will be labeled independently from the very beginning with small letter A and dot in front of it. We are not labeling this third degree heading in sequence to any third degree that is appearing in the upper portion of the report as the subheading of any other second degree that appeared. This second degree is having 2 third degrees in the above portion of the report. Kindly have a look on the table. There is a second degree with 3 degrees under it. So it was having 2 third degree headings as its subheading. And the second third degree heading, when it appeared, as you can see on the table, under this second degree heading was labeled as small b with a dot in front of it. But over here this is a second degree again, and under this second degree we are having 2 third degree headings. These third degrees will not be labeled in sequence to these third degrees. These are the independent subheadings of only this second degree, as you can see on the table. So when this third degree is coming up for the first time under this second degree heading, it will be labeled as small letter A with a dot in front of it. Then dear students, after this third degree we are having another third degree, and as you can see this third degree is also making the subheading of this second degree. So this third degree and this third degree above it, both these third degrees are the subheadings of the same second degree. So both these third degrees will be labeled in sequence with each other. When the third degree appeared for the first time was labeled as over here small letter A with a dot in front of it, and when the third degree is coming for the second time over here will be labeled as small letter B with a dot in front of it, as you can see on the table. After this third degree dear students, we are having a fourth degree of heading in front of you. You can see it on the screen in front of you. The cursor is blinking on the fourth degree heading on the table. Now dear students, this fourth degree is appearing after the third degree of heading. That means this fourth degree is a lower degree of heading than the third degree. So when after one heading we are having a lower degree of heading after it, so that is the that forms the subheading of the higher degree. So this fourth degree is forming the subheading of the third degree. Okay, now how fourth degree headings are labeled through letter numeral style. We are trying to learn the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. Fourth degree headings are labeled with round numbers 1, 2, 3 bracketed, round numbers 1, 2, 3. For example, number 1 bracketed, bracketed 2, bracketed 3, bracketed 4, and so on. So dear students, this is, have a look kindly on the screen, this is the fourth degree appearing for the first time after this third degree. So this fourth degree is making the subheading of this third degree, and as per the rules of the numeral letter combination, letter numeral combination, it is exact reverse, letter numeral combination style of headings will be labeled as bracketed number 1, as you can see on the screen. Bracketed round number 1. After this fourth degree dear students, we are having another fourth degree under it. Now this fourth degree is also the subheading of the same third degree heading. So this fourth degree will be also forming the subheading of the same third degree heading. So will be labeled in sequence with any fourth degree coming above it. So we already had a fourth degree and we labeled it as bracketed round number 1. So this fourth degree, when it is coming for the second time, will be labeled as bracketed round number 2. As you can see on the screen, the cursor is blinking on bracketed round number 2. Okay, dear students, after this fourth degree, we are having the fifth degree of heading, as you can see, is being displayed on the table. The cursor is blinking on the fifth degree. This fifth degree is coming after the fourth degree of heading. So it is forming the, remember one thing, fifth degree heading is the lower degree of heading as compared to the fourth one. So this fifth degree is forming the subheading of the fourth degree heading. So before labeling it, you should know that through letter, let me check it again, yes, through letter numeral combination style, whenever you label the fifth degree of heading, you label it with bracketed small letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this is the fifth degree coming after the fourth degree. This fifth degree heading is forming, as you can see on the screen, the subheading of the fourth degree heading will be labeled as bracketed, as you can see on the screen, bracketed small letter A. After this, dear students, after this fifth degree, as you can see on the table, we are having another fifth degree heading. Now, dear students, this fifth degree heading is making the subheading of the same fourth degree. So that means this fifth degree heading will be labeled in sequence to any other fifth degree heading that appeared before it under the same fourth degree heading. So we already had after this fourth degree heading one fifth degree heading, and that we labeled as bracketed small letter A. So we will be labeling this fifth degree that is coming for the second time under the fourth degree as bracketed small letter B, as you can see on the screen. This is bracketed small letter B. That means we have labeled this fifth degree in sequence to this fifth degree, in sequence with this fifth degree, as you can see on the table. Then, dear students, after this fifth degree, you can see on the screen, on the table, there is a first degree heading coming again. Now this is the first degree of heading coming for the third time again. When the first degree appeared for the first time and you labeled it through letter numeral combination style, you labeled it with capital A dot. When it appeared for the second time, you labeled it as capital letter B dot. Here it's coming for the third time, you will be labeling it through letter numeral combination style with capital letter C dot. So here, as you can see on the table, it was labeled as capital letter C with a dot in front of it. Dear students, after this first degree, as you can see on the table, we are again having the second degree of heading. Now this second degree of heading, be a bit cautious, is forming the subheading of only this first degree. You should understand this point, that this second degree heading is making the subheading of only this first degree. This second degree of heading is not making the subheading of any other first degrees that appeared in the upper portion of the report. So this second degree will be labeled independently of any other second degrees that appeared in the upper portion of the report. That means its labeling will begin from the very beginning, and through the letter numeral combination style, whenever you label the second degrees, you label them with rounded numbers 1, 2, 3 with a dot in front of it. So this second degree over here will be labeled as rounded number 1 with a dot in front of it, as you can see on the table. After the second degree, dear students, we are having a third degree of heading. As you can see on the table appearing before you on the screen, we are having this third degree of heading. This third degree of heading is a lower degree of heading than the second degree, so it's forming the subheading of this second degree. This third degree is forming the subheading of this second degree. Now how do we label the third degree? Is through letter numeral combination style. We label them by small letters A, B, C, D and F and up to Z. Now here, dear students, this third degree is forming the subheading of only this second degree. So this third degree will be labeled independently, beginning from the very beginning, will be labeled independently of any other third degrees appearing in the upper portion of the report. That means its labeling will start again from small letter A dot. So we labeled this third degree over here with small letter A and a dot in front of it. After this third degree, dear students, we are having another third degree that is again forming the subheading. Be cautious, that is again forming the subheading of the same second degree. So this third degree will be labeled in sequence with any other third degree that is appearing after this second degree of heading. So the third degree of heading, when appeared for the first time after this second degree of heading, was labeled as small letter A. So this third degree, when appearing for the second time after the same second degree, is being labeled in sequence and being labeled by small letter B, a dot in front of it. After this third degree, dear students, we are having the second degree of heading. We are having a second degree of heading coming up. Now, dear students, be a bit cautious. Have a look on the table appearing on the screen in front of you. Now, second degree heading is a higher degree of heading than the third. That means the second degree cannot make the subheading of the third degree appearing above it. It will be making the subheading of the first degree over here. This second degree heading is the subheading of the first degree coming up for the third time in the report. And after this first degree, we already, as you can see on the screen, we already had one second degree and labeled it through letter numeral combination style, rounded by rounded number 1 dot in front of it. And this second degree coming up for the second time under the same first degree is making the subheading of the same first degree, so will be labeled in sequence to any other second degree coming above it, before it, under the same first degree. The first, when this second degree appeared, we labeled it as rounded number 1. In sequence, when it is appearing for the second time under the same first degree, we are labeling it with, as you can see on the screen, rounded number 2 dot in front of it, as you can see on the screen. Dear students, after this second degree, we are having a third degree of heading coming up. Now this third degree is a lower degree of heading as compared to the second degree, so it's forming the subheading of the second degree. So, dear students, have a look on the screen. Remember one thing, this third degree heading is making the subheading of only this second degree heading, appearing just adjacently above it. This third degree heading is not making the subheading of any other third degrees appearing in any other part of the report under any other second degree. So this third degree heading will be labeled independently as a subheading of only this second degree heading. And by the rules of the letter numeral combination style of labeling the third degree headings, you label them by small letters A, B, C, D up to Z. So you will be labeling this third degree by small letter A dot in front of it. After this third degree, dear students, we are having another third degree appearing. Now this third degree is also forming, as you can see on the screen, the cursor is blinking on the third degree coming up for the second time under the same second degree. So this third degree is also making the subheading of the same second degree. So this third degree will be labeled in sequence with any other third degree that is coming under this second degree. So we already had a third degree that we labeled as small letter A dot in front of it. This third degree coming up for the second time will be labeled in sequence, will be labeled as small letter B, a dot in front of it. After it, dear students, as you can see on the screen, the cursor is blinking on the word first. First degree heading is coming up again. Now this is the first degree coming up for the fourth time. Coming up for the fourth time. When the first degree heading appeared for the first time, we labeled it as, through letter numeral combination style, capital letter A dot. Second time, capital letter B dot. Third time, capital letter C dot. Now fourth time, it will be labeled as you can see on the screen, capital letter D with a dot in front of it. Dear students, after this first degree, as you can see on the screen, we are having a second degree heading. Now this second degree, be cautious, dear students, this second degree heading is not forming the subheading of any other first degree heading that is appearing in the upper portion of the report. This second degree heading is only making the subheading of this very first degree on which the cursor is blinking. As you can see on the screen, this second degree is only making the subheading of this first degree heading. So by the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, it should be labeled independently by rounded numbers. So independently we begin the labeling of the second degree and label it by rounded number 1 with a dot in front of it. Dear students, after the second degree, we are having on the screen, as you can see on the table, the cursor is blinking on a third degree heading. Now this third degree heading is a lower degree of heading than the second degree and is appearing just next to the second degree heading. So that means this third degree heading is making the subheading of this second degree heading. Remember, dear students, this third degree heading is not making the subheading of any other second degree appearing in any other part of the report. This third degree is only, have a look on the screen, this third degree is only making the subheading of this second degree. And as per the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, third degrees are labeled by small letter A, B, C, D, E, F up to Z with a dot in front of them. So this third degree will be labeled independently of any other third degrees appearing in any other part of the report under any other second degree. So we will be beginning it from the very start and we will be labeling it as the first subheading of this second degree. We will be labeling it as small letter A with a dot in front of it. As you can see on the screen, small letter A with a dot in front of it. After this third degree, dear students, we are having another third degree, and this third degree, dear students, is also making the subheading of the same second degree, and we will be labeling it in sequence to any other third degree that is appearing as a subheading of the same second degree. So we'll be labeling it as, by the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, small letter B with a dot in front of it. After it, dear students, we are having, as you can see on the screen, a second degree appearing. Now, dear students, be a bit cautious and have a look that this second degree heading is coming after this first degree. As you can see on the table, this second degree is coming after this first degree for the second time. That means this second degree over here and this second degree over here both are forming the subheadings of this first degree that we labeled as capital letter D that appeared for the fourth time. So this second degree will be labeled in sequence with any other second degree that appeared under the same first degree that we labeled as capital letter D with a dot in front of it. So for the first time, when the second degree appeared under this capital letter D, we labeled it as rounded number 1. So it's coming for the second time. We will be labeling it in sequence and we label it as rounded number 2 with a dot in front of it. Here, have a look on the screen, rounded number 2 with a dot in front of it. After this second degree, dear students, we are again having the third degree heading. Now this third degree heading is here, the cursor is blinking on the third degree. Have a look on the table. the third degree is coming after the second degree. Now this means, as you know, third degree is a lower degree than the second degree, and when a lower degree comes adjacently below any other higher degree, that forms the subheading of the higher degree. So this third degree is the subheading of this second degree. And as per the, just to repeat again, now this third degree is not forming the subheading of any other second degree in any other part of the report. This third degree is only forming the subheading of this very second degree. So will be labeled independently of any other third degrees appearing in any part of the report. So will be labeled, will be beginning from the very start, and by the rules of the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, will be labeling it by small letter A dot in front of it. As you can see on the screen, small letter A dot in front of it. Now we are having the third degree coming up again, dear students, here under the same second degree heading. Now as you can see on the screen, this third degree over here, which was labeled as small letter A dot in front of it, and this third degree over here, both are forming the subheadings of the same second degree. So this third degree is also coming up for the second time, is also making the subheading of the same second degree, will be labeled in sequence with any other third degree that is coming under this second degree. We already had a third degree, we labeled it under the second degree, we labeled it as small letter A over here. So this third degree coming up for the second time will be labeled through letter numeral combination style of headings as small letter B dot in front of it. As you can see on the screen, the table is being displayed in front of you and the cursor is blinking on small letter B with a dot in front of it. Okay, dear students, here we are having the first degree heading coming up again for the fifth time. When it appeared for the first time in the report through letter numeral combination style, we labeled it as capital letter A with a dot in front of it. Second time, capital letter B dot in front of it. Third time, capital letter C dot in front of it. Fourth time, capital letter D dot in front of it. Now fifth time, capital letter E dot in front of it through letter numeral combination style of headings. As you can see on the screen, the cursor is blinking on capital letter E with a dot in front of it. Dear students, after this first degree, over here you can see is the second degree again. Now dear students, the second degree, be cautious, you must understand this thing, that this lower degree is second degree heading is only making the subheading of this very first degree appearing for the fifth time. The second degree is not making the subheading of any other second degree appearing in this second degree is not making the subheading of any other first degree appearing in any other part of the report. So you will be labeling this second degree independently of any other second degrees appearing in any other part of the report, and as per the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, you will be labeling it independently from the very start as rounded number 1 dot in front of it. Dear students, after the second degree we are having another second degree over here, as you can see. Now this second degree is also making, dear students, a subheading of the same first degree. The second degree, when it appeared for the first time, is also the subheading of the same first degree. When we are having another second degree after the same second degree under the same first degree, it is also making the subheading of the same first degree. So this subheading in second degree, when will be labeled in sequence with any other second degree that is coming after this first degree. We already had the second degree, we labeled it through letter numeral combination style with rounded number 1 dot in front of it. When it's coming for the second time, it will be labeled in sequence with that rounded number 1, and we will be labeling it as rounded number 2 with a dot in front of it, as you can see on the screen. So dear students, here we are ending up with this table, and we just learned the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. Now dear students, let us practically implement this letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings practically on one of the sample reports. Okay, dear students, here on the screen you are having a heading being displayed. The heading is introduction. The heading is the word introduction. Now first you should know which degree of heading is this. Dear students, this heading is in the center of the page, having all the letters capital. It's not underlined, having 3 vacant lines above it, 2 vacant lines below it before the beginning of the text. So this is the positioning and style and format of the first degree heading. So this is the first degree heading in front of you. Now we should be labeling it as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. And first degrees in letter numeral combination style are labeled with capital letters A, B, C up to Z. So over here, this is the first degree coming up for the first time. We will be labeling it as capital letter A with a dot in front of it. As you can see on the screen, we labeled it with capital letter A with a dot in front of it. Dear students, after this first degree heading, we are having over here another heading. First we should be judging which degree of heading is this. When did the problem arise? The heading says, the heading is when did the problem arise. Let us see which degree of heading is this. Okay, it's in the center of the page, underlined. First letter of all the words capital, 2 line space above it, 1 line space below it. These are the qualities, dear students. This is the positioning and style of the second degree of heading. So in front of you, dear students, you are having the second degree of heading being displayed. Now how to label this second degree of heading as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style. But before labeling it, you should know that this second degree heading appearing in front of you is making the subheading of this first degree heading, which you labeled as capital letter A with a dot in front of it. As per the rules, coming back to the second degree, as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, you should be labeling it with rounded number 1 with a dot in front of it, as you can see on the screen. Okay, dear students, here have a look on the screen. We are having another heading being displayed in front of us. The heading is the word discussion. Now first you should know which degree of heading is this. All the letters capital, discussion, center of the page, all the letters of the word capital, 3 line space above it, 2 line space below it, not underlined. These are the attributes of the first degree of heading. This is the positioning and style and format of the first degree of heading. So I say that this is the first degree of heading coming for the second time in the same report. So by the rules of the letter numeral combination style of headings, you should be labeling the first degrees with capital letters A, B, C and D up to Z, etc. So over here, this is coming for the second time, you will be labeling it with capital letter B dot in front of it. As you can see on the screen that this first degree coming up for the second time is labeled as capital letter B with a dot in front of it. Moving down, dear students, here in front of you, it's the second degree heading. Now how do I know that it is second degree of heading? What are the various attributes? What is the positioning that is convincing me to call it the second degree of heading? Okay, it is in the center of the page, and it is having the first letter of all the words capital. It is underlined, having 2 line spaces above it, 1 line space below it. Thereby I call that this is the positioning and format and style of the second degree of heading. So this heading here is the detail, as you can see on the screen, is the second degree of heading. Now how to label this second degree of heading as per the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. Before numbering it, you should know one thing, that this second degree heading is forming the subheading only of this first degree discussion. This second degree heading, here is the detail, is not forming the subheading of this first degree introduction. So when a second degree appeared after this heading, introduction, in first degree, it was only the subheading of this first degree introduction. We will not be numbering this second degree heading. Here is the detail in sequence with the second degree that appeared in the upper portion of the report under the first degree heading introduction for the first time. This second degree heading, here is the detail, will be numbered independently from the very beginning, from the very start, through the letter numeral combination style of headings as the subheading of only this first degree discussion. As per the rules of the letter numeral combination style, you will be labeling the second degrees with rounded numbers, so it will be labeled by the rounded number 1 dot in front of it. I am not labeling it as rounded number 2 with a dot in front of it, thinking that there was another second degree under another first degree, so it appeared for the first time, so it's coming for the second time, should be labeling it as rounded number 2. No, it will be labeled as from the very beginning by rounded number 1, showing that it is only the subheading of only this first degree. Which one? This one, labeled as capital letter B. Now remember one thing, dear students, the rule is, the recommendation is that if you are showing the subheadings of any other heading, for example, you are showing the subheading of the second degree heading or the third degree heading or the first degree heading, you must at least be having 2 subheadings. Here in the sample report, you can just witness only 1 subheading in the second degree, which is not recommended. Means at least there must have been 2 subheadings over here in the second degree, and over here as well. When did the problem arise? There must have been another at least second degree under it, showing that we are having 2 subheadings for this first degree introduction. Okay, dear students, after it we are having another heading. You can see another heading is being displayed in front of you on the screen, and the heading is enjoying health. Let us judge which degree of heading is this. Dear students, it is towards the left margin of the page. Here the cursor is blinking. The heading is enjoying health. As you can see on the screen, it is towards the left margin of the page. It is having the first letter of all the words capital, 1 line space above it, 1 line space below it, and it is underlined. This is the positioning, format and style of the third degree of heading. So dear students, how to label the third degree of heading as per the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. But before going on to labeling this heading, you should know this heading is forming the subheading of which heading. This is the third degree coming after this second degree. Here is the detail. So this third degree heading, where the cursor is blinking, as you can see on the screen, is forming the subheading of this second degree. So will be numbered independently as a subheading of only this second degree heading. And third degree headings are labeled as per the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings with small letters A, B, C, D up to Z, etc. So here we will be labeling it as small letter A with a dot in front of it. Small letter A with a dot in front of it. As you can see on the screen, this third degree is being labeled by small letter A with a dot in front of it through letter numeral combination style of headings. After it, dear students, as you can see on the screen, we are having another degree of heading appearing. Dear students, you should try to judge. Up till now you should be an expert, dear students, by the way, to judge the degree of headings. But let us judge. The heading is the word management. The heading is the word management. Silent kar dein. The heading is the word management. Now dear students, as you can see on the screen, it's towards the left margin of the page, but it is slightly indented towards inside. First letter of the word is capital. It is underlined 1 line space above it but no line space below it. That means the text is beginning from the very line of the heading. These are the attributes of the fourth degree of headings. So this is the fourth degree of heading, dear students, appearing in front of you on the screen. Now how to label this fourth degree as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style of headings. Before labeling it, you should know that this is making this word, this heading management is making the subheading of this third degree. This fourth degree heading management is making the subheading of this third degree, that is enjoying health. It's not, this fourth degree management is not the subheading of any other third degree appearing in any other part of the report. So this fourth degree heading management will be labeled independently of any other fourth degrees appearing in any other part of the report, and as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style, you label the fourth degrees with bracketed rounded numbers. So as you can see on the screen, we labeled it with bracketed rounded number 1. Next, dear students, on the screen, as you can see, the cursor is blinking on another heading. The heading is looking back. Let us first judge which degree of heading is this. Dear students, it is towards the left margin of the page but slightly indented inside. The first letter of the heading is capital. The first letter of all of the two words of the heading are capital, L of looking, B of back, and one line space above it, no line space below it means the text is beginning from the very line of the heading. So thereby this is the positioning, this is the style, this is the format of the fourth degree of heading again. That means this is the fourth degree coming up again after the same third degree. That means this fourth degree heading is also forming the subheading. This fourth degree heading looking back is also forming the subheading of the same third degree enjoying health. So that means after this third degree of heading enjoying health, first we had the fourth degree heading management, then we had the fourth degree heading coming up again looking back for the second time. So this fourth degree will be labeled in sequence with any other fourth degrees that are coming after the same third degree enjoying health. So management, the heading management was labeled as bracketed rounded number 1, and the heading looking back, as you can see on the screen, will be labeled as bracketed rounded number 2. After it, dear students, in front of you on the screen there is another heading, life with machines is artificial. Now which degree of heading is this? Again, let us judge. Left margin but indented towards inside, one line space above it, no line space below it means the text is beginning from the same line of the heading. Thereby you say that this is the fourth degree of heading coming up for the third time under the same third degree of heading. That means this is also forming the subheading of the same third degree. So when you will be labeling this fourth degree of heading, you will be labeling it in sequence with all other fourth degrees coming under the same third degree of heading, and the third degree of heading that appeared above it under the same third degree was looking back, and you labeled it as rounded number 2, rounded bracketed number 2, and you will be labeling this one, as you can see on the screen, as rounded bracketed rounded number 3, as you can see on the screen. Let us see what next we are having, dear students. Seasons. The heading appearing in front of you on the screen is seasons. Now which degree of heading is this? Again, this is the fourth degree, but how? Left margin of the page but indented towards inside, underlined, first letter of the heading capital and one line space above it, no line space below it means the text is beginning from the same line of the heading. This is the fourth degree coming up again for the fourth time under the same third degree of heading. Which same third degree of heading? Have a look. This third degree, enjoying health. So you will be labeling this fourth degree heading seasons in sequence with all other fourth degree headings appearing under the same third degree heading. So the adjacent heading above this heading was life with machines is artificial, and you labeled it with bracketed rounded number 3. So here you will be labeling this heading seasons with bracketed rounded number 4. as per the rules of labeling the fourth degree headings through letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. What next, dear students, are we having? Let us see. The heading in front of you is stylizing. It's stylizing. Dear students, let us judge which degree of heading is this. One line space above it, left margin of the page slightly indented towards inside, first letter of the heading capital, it's underlined, and no line space below it. That means text is beginning from the very line, but at the same time, have a look, heading is also the part of the first sentence of the text. The sentence is not independent. Stylizing anything needs professional touch. Have a look on the screen. Stylizing anything needs professional touch. Heading is also the part of the first sentence of the text. That means this is not the fourth degree, this is the fifth degree of heading. Then heading is the part of the first sentence of the text as well, you call it, and having all other positioning that I just mentioned, then you call it the fifth degree of heading. Okay, dear students, how to label the fifth degree of heading through letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. Now, fifth degrees, as per the laws, as per the rules of letter numeral combination, as per the guideline of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, are labeled, fifth degrees are labeled by bracketed small letters A, B, C, D up to Z, etc. Now this is the fifth degree heading. Have a look on the screen, dear students. This is the fifth degree heading coming up under this fourth degree, seasons. Now fifth degree is a lower degree than the fourth degree. That means this fifth degree is forming the subheadings of this subheading of this fourth degree. This fifth degree is not forming the subheading of any other fourth degree appearing in any other part of the report. So will be labeled independently of any other fourth degrees appearing in any other part of the report. From the very beginning, from the very start, will be labeled, as you can see on the screen, by bracketed small letter A. Okay, then after it, dear students, we are having another heading in front of you. Let us judge which degree of heading is this. Professions. Left margin of the page but indented towards inside, first letter of the word is capital, P is capital, underlined, and one line space above it, no line space below it. That means the text is beginning from the very line of the heading, but the heading is also the part of the first sentence of the text. As you can see on the screen, professions need to be selected with caution. This is the fifth degree coming up again under the same fourth degree. That means this fifth degree heading, dear students, have a look on the screen. This fifth degree professions is coming up under the same fourth degree, seasons. We already had one fifth degree. The heading was stylizing. Now we are again having the fifth degree adjacently, and the heading is professions. That means this fifth degree heading is also forming the subheading of the same fourth degree, so will be labeled in sequence with any other fifth degree that is coming after the same fourth degree heading. So we already had one fifth degree heading with the word stylizing, and we labeled it by bracketed small letter A, and here professions, the heading professions, will be labeled as bracketed small letter B. As you can see on the screen, we labeled it as bracketed small letter B. Dear students, after it on the screen you can see there is another heading, evolving strange evolution. This is the third degree of heading. How this is having, it's toward the left margin of the page, two line space above it, one line space below it, or one line space above it, one line space below it, both are fine. First letter of all the words capital and underlined. And now dear students, these are the attributes, this is the positioning, this is the style of the third degree of heading. Now how to label this third degree of heading per the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. First let us see, this third degree is forming the subheading of which degree? Have a close look here students. This is the third degree heading. We must look for the adjacent second degree above it, because it will be forming the subheading of any other adjacent second degree coming above it. No matter how many fifth and the fourth degrees you are jumping above it. Let us see where is the second degree. This is a third degree. Moving up. This is another third degree. Moving up. Here is the second degree. That means this third degree of heading, enjoying health, appeared for the first time as a subheading of the second degree, but after it we are having another third degree coming up over here, evolving strange evolution. This is also forming the subheading of the same second degree. Here is the detail. Now dear students, this third degree coming up for the second time, evolving strange evolution, this is the third degree coming up for the second time under this second degree heading, which is here is the detail, will be labeled in sequence to any other third degree that came above it under the same second degree. So we had one, it was enjoying health, was labeled as small letter A dot in front of it. Coming for the second time will be labeled in sequence, will be labeled as small letter B, as you can see in front of you on the screen. Now after this third degree, dear students, we are having another third degree heading. Looking at the top priorities, underlined, first letter of all the words capital, one line space above it, one line space below it, or two line space above it, one line space below it, both are fine. Attributes of the third degree heading, that means the third degree heading is coming up for the third time under the same second degree. So will be labeled in sequence to any other second degrees, any other third degrees coming up under the same second degree heading. So over here the third degree above it was labeled as small letter B. Over here it will be labeled in sequence to the third degrees coming above it under the same second degree, and will be labeled as small letter C dot in front of it, as per the rules of letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings. Okay dear students, after this third degree heading we are having in front of you another degree of heading appearing. The cursor is blinking in front of you, preventing downfall, underlined towards the left margin of the page but slightly indented towards inside. One line space above it, no line space below it. Text is beginning from the same line of the heading, but the heading is also forming the part of the first sentence of the text. The heading is also the part of the first sentence of the text. Have a look. Preventing downfall and moving ahead. Here, dear students, preventing downfall and moving ahead needs to be based on correct decision. Now, the heading is also the part of the first sentence of the text. That means this is the fifth degree of heading. Now, how to label this fifth degree of heading? First, you should know, as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, you should know one thing, that this fifth degree is making the subheading of only this third degree. Directly, dear students, have a look. This fifth degree is the subheading of this third degree. You are having a direct jump. After the first degree, remember one thing. If you are having the first degree of heading, after it you can directly have a subheading of the fifth, fourth degree. Similarly, if you are having the third degree, after it you can directly be having the subheading in the fifth degree. But after the third degree, you cannot be having any subheading in second degree. Any lower degree of heading can form the subheading of any higher degree coming adjacently to each other. So here, this is the third degree, and for this third degree the writer has selected a fifth degree of heading, as you can see on the screen, as its subheading. Now this fifth degree, dear students, is only forming the subheading of this third degree. It's not the subheading of any other degree appearing in any other part of the report. So will be labeled as per the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings by small bracketed number A independently beginning from the very start. Then dear students, we are having another degree appearing in front of you. This is doing the best. The heading is doing the best. Underline towards left margin of the page, one line space above it, one line space below it. And this is the positioning style and format of the third degree of heading. Now this third degree is coming up for the fourth time under the second degree of heading. Which second degree? Have a look on the screen. Here is the detail. The heading is, here is the detail. We had 3 third degrees already coming after the second degree. Enjoying health for the first time. Evolving strange evolution for the second time. Looking at top priorities for the third time, and here the fourth time doing the best. Will be labeled in sequence with any other third degrees coming after the same degree. Small letter D with a dot in front of it. After it, dear students, we are having the third degree coming up for the fifth time. Left margin of the page underlined, one line space above it, one line space below it. These are the attributes of the third degrees. Now how to label this third degree coming up for the fifth time under the same second degree as per the rules of the letter numeral combination style of headings. Will be labeled in sequence with any other third degrees coming after the same second degree. So will be labeled as small letter E dot in front of it, as you can see on the screen. Okay dear students, finally we reach the conclusion. Okay, this is the first degree of heading in front of it. How do I say it? How do I call it the first degree? Towards the center of the page, all the letters of the word capital, 3 line space above it, 1 line space below it, not underlined. First degree coming up for the third time. When it appeared for the first time, we labeled it with capital letter A. When second time, we labeled it as capital letter B as per the letter numeral combination style of headings. And now it is appearing for the third time, and we are labeling it with capital letter C with a dot in front of it. Okay dear students, this is the second degree of heading again in front of you. And remember dear students, this second degree is coming after this first degree, so is forming the subheading of only this first degree. And as per the letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, second degrees are labeled by rounded numbers with a dot in front of them. So this second degree will be labeled independently of any other second degree that is coming up in any other part of the report under any other first degree. So will be labeled from the very beginning, from the very start, by rounded number 1. So dear students, here we end up with this sample report. And today we ended up and we learned the 3 styles of labeling your headings in the report. We started with numeral letter combination style, learned it on the table, implemented it on a sample report. Then we moved on to the decimal system, learned it on the table and implemented in one of the sample reports. Then after it, today we moved on to letter numeral combination style of labeling the headings, and we learned it on the table and then practically implemented it on one of the sample reports. I hope, dear students, I'm confident that you must have learned a lot out of this lecture. Wish you best of luck in everything. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.